Hello, Daniel.
Hi, Jenny.
How are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
I'm doing great. I've been on Cambly all day. You're my last person today.
Oh, I hope you're not too tired. Or yeah,
No, absolutely not. I love talking on Cambly. So I am energized and ready to. I always take a break in the middle of the day to eat. So now I'm energized and ready to go.
great. That's nice. Just the topic that I wanted to talk about food.
I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, um, uh, I I have this idea that in the United States, it's not. I think you're more lean towards I don't know, like fast food and
Okay.
I don't know how hard is it to get like garden food over there?
Healthy, fresh food.
Yes, yes,
Yeah. It's not hard. It's just very easy to get fast food and processed food. So it's
yes.
not difficult to get the healthy food. It's just that the other food is easier. So, um, yeah.
So, what about your like? Do you usually cook your meals, or what? How would you say it's your um, like? How healthy you would say it's your eating
Yeah, so you can use the word diet.
diet?
Diet has two meanings, right? You have the meaning that means like eating healthy, like I'm on a diet,
Yeah.
versus just the general food you eat is your diet, it means what you eat.
All
So,
right.
my diet is pretty healthy, I think, compared to a lot of Americans.
Nice.
Um, So for breakfast, I don't like very many different foods, so I eat pretty much the same thing all the time. So, and I'm okay with it. So for breakfast, I always make myself a breakfast sandwich, which is an English muffin, an egg, cheese, and vegetarian bacon, since I'm a vegetarian. And then I have a multivitamin and chocolate milk, and that's what I have for breakfast every morning.
Interesting that you are a vegetarian because I I mean I've been sort of in the middle between eating meat and not doing so because I heard these arguments. I love animals and that's one a main one, and also because I think that yeah, eating so much meat it's not exactly the best diet to have.
Right.
So that's quite interesting. Also, to be
Yeah.
vegetarian in the United States, I don't know how difficult it could be, like planning your meals and stuff like that. But that's good.
Yeah.
So,
I've been a vegetarian since I was 11 years old.
oh, that's good.
Um, so for a long time, so I'm pretty used to it. And there's a lot more people nowadays who are vegetarians or even vegans. I'm not a vegan, I'm just a vegetarian because I eat a lot of cheese. But
Yes, I
there
think
are a lot of vegetarian and vegan options now.
yeah, I think so too because being vegan is like going to the extreme.
It
So
is going to an extreme. That's true.
yes, that's good because here in Peru, my sister. I don't know if I told you that she's currently she went to for a work and travel in the United States. She's been living for a couple of months over there.
In
So
which state?
she's in California.
Okay.
Yeah, she usually talks about how different are things. The family that she's living in, it has. I wouldn't say it's the best diet. So they usually have a lot of processed meals, stuff like
Yeah.
you don't have to do much work in order to get it done.
Yeah.
So it's I mean right here in my home, my house, we cook our meals. Usually it's with fresh vegetables.
Okay.
Uh, Everything is fresh. So I don't know. It sounds. I don't know. I even if I'd be living in the United States, I would be pretty much looking for everything fresh and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so much into that. It's easy, but Oh my God, your body, right?
Yeah, so I don't do a lot of cooking, but I don't eat a lot of fast foods either. I eat a lot of easy to cook food, like you said. So one of the main things I eat is pasta. So all I have to do for pasta is boil water, pour the pasta in, wait for it to finish, and then I melt cheese and butter on top of it and I eat it. And that's my main meal. I eat apples every day. I eat an apple every day at lunch because
Mhm.
apples you don't have to do anything. You just pick it up and eat it.
Yeah.
I eat carrots every day. You don't have to pick them. You just take them out of the fridge and eat them. So I
Mhm.
eat a lot of foods that don't require a lot of preparation, but I try and eat healthier foods. So sometimes I used to for lunch buy microwavable foods. So it'd be like frozen pasta. I'd put in the microwave and heat up. And I
Yeah.
ate that for lunch almost every day. But now because I'm at home, I don't need that. I can cook fresh pasta in a pot. Um, and then I have a restaurant that makes amazing salads because the main problem for me is the fresh ingredients go bad so fast and
Yes.
I can't eat them fast enough and I don't like share meals with other people that I don't buy them myself. So I'll order a restaurant salad all the time. So it's from a restaurant, but it's a salad. So
Yes. I mean, Peru is very popular. I think that you probably have heard about Peru and food and stuff like that. Usually people relate Peru to the food and Machu Picchu. That's it.
yeah.
So so yeah, I mean, I don't know how different was for you, like for example, being in Ecuador, the food, right?
Yeah. So the biggest adjustment for me was pasta because I eat pasta literally every day here. And they didn't eat pasta very often, the host family that I stayed with. Um, but so if I wanted pasta, I had to go find it at a restaurant, which was fine because I was in a big city, so it was easy to find. But
Hmm.
most days for breakfast, they would give me a fruit plate, which was great because I love fruit.
Hmm.
Um, and then sometimes empanadas and eggs. I'm a pretty easy person to feed at breakfast. Uh, For lunch and dinner was usually like they'd give me a bowl of rice, and I like just plain white rice, so it's fine. And then salads with spinach and tomatoes were fine. And uh, sometimes we would have soup, but the soup is a really popular food in Ecuador, but there's so much of the soup has meat in it that I
Yes.
didn't eat it very often. So it was a lot of rice, a lot of salad, a lot of empanadas, a lot of eggs.
Well, here in Peru, it's quite often to that the lunch has rice as well. I'm not too fond of rice actually, but I mean I eat some. Um, but yeah, I mean usually it's at least here is there's this traditional um, I don't know how to say dishes maybe
Yeah,
traditional.
dishes.
So we have plenty of different traditional dishes, but at least from what I hear from my sister, the pretty much uh, what they eat at the family that she's currently living at, it's pretty much Mexican food, and
Okay.
and and that's quite weird to me because yeah, I mean I sort of realized that maybe you don't have that many traditional dishes in the United States. Pretty much Mexican food has become like the
Yeah,
like
so that's one of the interesting things about the US is because our country is so new, we don't really have historical like cultural heritage to anything. Because the country's only been around for about 300 years. So most of the things that make you America America are things we took from other people. So eating Mexican food, eating Chinese food, eating Indian food, like this is something that people do a lot in the US because traditional American food is like hamburgers and hot dogs.
yes, yes. So I think that if you come to Peru, I think you're not going to run out of new dishes right here
Right.
because even so, like we have these traditional dishes and we have all these Italian food, Chinese food, and from everywhere around the world. also sushi and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we have made a mixture of it, like traditional dishes and the mixture of this, and it has its
Okay.
own name. So, for example,
Cool.
the mixture between Chinese and Peruvian, it's called Cantonesa. It's right here.
Okay.
There's, for example, Peruvian and Japanese is called Nikkei,
Okay.
and, and there's a lot of
That's
creativity.
cool.
Yes, yes. So yeah, if you come for some food, well, since you're a vegetarian, like I don't know much about it, but you might still have some choices
I
as
find
well.
some options for sure. Do you
Yeah.
I love trying new fruits. I eat a lot of fruit. That's one of my favorite food groups after pasta. So I really like the granadillas. Um
Granadillas.
yeah, and I
Nice.
can't find them in the United States, and that makes me really sad because I really the first time I saw it, I was like, because it looks kind of funny. But then I tasted it and I was like, oh, this is delicious.
Yes,
Um,
really sweet.
and then my host family also made juice with guanabana.
Yeah.
And so I love the smell of that. I didn't like the taste of that as much, but the smell was delicious.
Hmm.
And it was so funny because I found out later, like I've never heard of that fruit before. Later, I learned the word in English is called a soursop. I'd never, literally never heard that before.
Hmm.
So when I was in the Galapagos and I was going on like a tour with one of the island guides,
Hmm.
he was telling me the thing in English. He's like, "Oh, these are soursops." I go, "I thought those were guanabanas." He's like, "Well, that's in Spanish." And I go, "Oh." He's like, "Don't you know soursop?" I go, "No, I only go guanabana." He goes, "I'm teaching you English?" I'm like, "I guess."
Yeah, I mean, um, yes, because you don't have that many fruits. I mean, I was teaching a few weeks ago my students some of the fruits in English, but some of them you don't find them like the ones that we know in Spanish. Some of
Hmm.
them I haven't even heard of them in English because they don't
Right,
really eat that stuff right there. That
right,
doesn't
exactly.
they don't garden the stuff right there.
Right, exactly. So